Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
How are you?
Welcome. Great. Just a minute.
Sure.
Make sure. Okay, we are live. We are still accepting.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hi, just setting up everything.
Sorry.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Hello, very well.
Awesome.
Welcome, everyone. We are still accepting people. Just a second, we are waiting for investors to come. Okay. Great, everyone is here. I guess everyone is here. So welcome everyone to the VC Shark Tank Pitching Session dedicated to Eastern European startup and startups from the CIS region. Today it's a special session. It's the last session of the year. This is why startups, you will not only have the chance to pitch in front of proactive and renowned investors, but also you will have the chance to participate in the Draper University program and go to Silicon Valley. Okay, we have a new investor. Welcome again, everyone. And so InnMind is really happy to partner with the Draper University team. This partnership is really fruitful, and we are joining forces to make startups scale and go to the next level. Thank you, Draper University. And thank you everyone for joining us again today. So I'll tell you about the process of the session. As you may know, first, we will have the Draper University team talking about their program. Then we will have investors speaking about their investment criteria. And after that, we can start the pitching. We have 6 startups today. Good luck, everyone. And I think we can start. So I'd like to welcome Daniela from the Draper University. Welcome, Daniela.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of this session. So yeah, we're Draper University, and we're very excited to have all of you here pitching for our Summer Hero Training Program. So basically, Draper University and the Hero Training Program, what we want to do is help you improve your business, scale it, and also network with people from Silicon Valley. So we're very excited to be here to see all the pitches and see who will be the winner to be joining us on summer. With me, it's also Sufyan. He's the program manager of Draper University. He's the one that manages all the programs. So once you get accepted, then during the program, he'll be the contact person to be there with you on Silicon Valley. So welcome everybody, and we're happy to be here. I think
I think he's frozen. Oh,
Oh
he's
yeah.
gone.
Oh yeah. He's off. So yeah. So meanwhile, Sufyan, can you just let them know a little bit about the program?
Yeah. Well, first of all, where are you guys tuning in from?
Vilnius here, Lithuania.
Lithuania,
Ukraine.
Germany.
Ukraine,
Poland.
Poland, Oleg,
Moscow. Nice to meet you.
Moscow. Wow, we got some good diversity here, Max.
St. Petersburg.
Oh, I've heard so much about St. Petersburg. It has been on my list forever. I've heard it's a really good city, and probably the only city that speaks English.
Wow. I'm not sure.
Oh, I've heard
I'm not sure whether we should start
city that
competition in
speaks
Moscow
English.
right now.
Moscow does. So St. Petersburg and Moscow.
Oh, St. Petersburg and Moscow. Okay. No, so my friends went to Moscow and St. Petersburg, and they said that Moscow is still hard to find people. Like they understand English, but they don't speak as fluently. But St. Petersburg, everybody speaks. Dina, where are you from? St. Petersburg? Oh,
Me, Irina, I'm from Ukraine, from Kiev.
So Dina got.
Hello again, everyone. Excuse me.
Oh, hey again. Oh, we kind of dived in without you. But,
Electricity.
the reins are back to you now.
The Draper University team saved you.
Thank you so much.
Took initiative.
Okay, so let's go back on track. Daniela, did you explain about the program?
Yeah,
Oh,
we can.
yeah. We can dive into the program.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much.
It's a 5-week residential program at our campus in San Mateo. Our campus is a 9-story building with 70 plus rooms. You'll be, and there's a co-working space across the street. So for those 5 weeks, the Draper University team will be staying on campus. 80 other founders like yourselves will be staying on campus, and you'll be working from there as well. It's a very interesting program. It's more founder focused. Yes, we go through all the regular sessions that other accelerators take you through, but we also focus on personal development, and we have activities planned that mimic a founder's journey running a startup. So some of the things that are essential in running a startup is, for example, knowing how to survive when times are tough. So we have an entire week planned called Survival. One of the other things that as a founder, as a young founder, especially in early days, you need to know about is you need to get comfortable with failure. You need to get comfortable with getting embarrassed. You need to get comfortable with asking for stuff all the time. And we have a range of activities planned that drive you out of your comfort zones, that make you so comfortable with being embarrassed that pitching to investors or going to ask someone for money or even negotiating with your most important or significant clients or with your customers becomes a piece of cake. So it's a very interesting journey in terms of that. And other than that, of course, you get access to the entire Draper network, which isn't limited to Draper University. We have a series of community co-working and co-living spaces around the world called Draper Startup Houses, to which you get discounts to stay in. They're in 18 locations worldwide. Excuse me. Draper University has a venture fund called Draper University Ventures, where we are focused on alumni, and we typically invest pre-seed, seed, which is normally, well, we're looking for products, but some traction. And then Draper Associates, you get access to their team as well. They dive in mostly late seed, 500K and above, all the way up to 2 million, which is pre-Series A. You can call these rounds whatever you want, but that's the typical check size. So just having access to that wider Draper network is an incredible opportunity. And also, I think for us, you guys getting to know each other is the biggest strength. 80 of you can help each other out in so many ways. And not just that, the Draper alumni network is now 2,000 plus strong, and expands beyond just the 80 of you, and you're going to help each other way more than you're going to be leveraging the Draper network. So that's a summary of Draper University. That's what I could tell in 2 minutes at least. But it's mostly fun. That's something we focus on. So Daniela, isn't that right?
Thank you so much, and welcome, Sophia. Welcome here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks to you. It's great. And again, I repeat the partnership. We are really proud and happy to partner with you to help entrepreneurs go to the next level. So would you like to add anything about Draper University?
No,
I think we've pretty much covered it all.
Whenever you're ready, we can start.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'd like to start with investors. And now with Dina from Portugal, sorry. She's a junior partner and the global asset manager at IIDF. Welcome, Dina.
Oh, thank you for having me. Talking a little bit about IDF, it's one of the most active VC funds in Eastern Europe. We have already invested in more than 400 startups so far. We also have our own acceleration program, which has been recognized as top 10 globally. We do invest in early stages from pre-seed up to pre-series B, I would say, from 50K up to $3 million. We target the markets like US, UK, Germany, France, MENA, Turkey, Southeast Asia, but quite open to other markets. And we prefer to have at least one Russian-speaking founder in the team. That's briefly it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having you with us today. And now I'd like to welcome Oscar, who is the managing partner at the Untitled Ventures. Welcome, Oscar.
Hi, all. My name is Oscar Stahoviak. Thank you very much for inviting me to this session. And I'm one of the GPs at the Untitled Ventures Fund. Historically, we were actually started as three angels investing into startups out of Eastern Europe. We have experiences of 2 unicorns from the region. And with our new fund, we are seeking companies, let's say, within deep tech space. Deep tech is there's a broad definition of deep tech, but it's anything in, let's say, AI, computer vision, data management, robotics, and industrial 4.0, med tech, agricultural technologies. And we focus on C to Series A, anything from $500,000 to 2 million check size.
Thank you so much. And it's great having you with us today. Also, I'd like to welcome Thor from Spain, from the Linux Accelerator. Thank you, Thor, for making it happen today. Even I know that you had some urgent things to do. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us. So we started the accelerator only a couple of months ago, and we're going to have our first investments in January next year. And we look for sustainable startups. So we do kind of impact investing. And yeah, our ticket size is also from 50K to everything up to 5 to 10 million. So we also sometimes pool investors, so then we get a higher ticket sizes. Thanks a lot for having us.
Thank you, Thor, for joining us. Okay, it's great having you with us today. So I guess we can start the pitching. I'd like to welcome Irina from Ukraine. She is the co-founder and the CEO of Bank of Memories. Hello, Irina, welcome.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Let me to share my screen. Okay, you see the screen?
Yes, we can see it very well.
Okay. So, have you ever experienced a problem that your storage is full, that your personal information that you want to store is actually information is overload and you can't structure it anymore? I also experienced this problem, and that's why we created a private family space for only your family members and close friends that can share information with our blockchain-based distributed storage that will help you save information and pass it to the future for new future generations. Just a second, it's not really, okay, yeah. We know how to wash hands, we know how to recycle, but in fact, none of us does something with our digital files. All our life is not digital. And the problem is we have so much information every day that we don't have time even to sort it. But what will happen in 10 years? Will you be able to find something important? And people spend a lot of money on that storage. $104 billion, to be precise, is a global market for cloud storages. And people spend $60 to $150 per year to store information that they actually don't need. They need probably 20% of it. What do we offer? We offer a bank of memory space that will tokenize memories. So this is blockchain. This will help you to save and tend very important, essential things, even to the future. Even in 10 years from now, you'll be able to recover all important information. About traction, we already have product, both apps on iOS and Android. It's live for 6 months, and it's generating pretty good results so far. 5,000 active users, where customer acquisition cost in general is 50 cents. In US, it's more than $1. In Asia, it's 38 cents. We already have 5 terabytes of data in our storage system, and we started slowly earning some money from that. And the important thing that we are now raising and growing our community is by now. So we started probably in March this year, and we have 60,000 people that are watching us. This is how the product looks. Later, I will show the full demo, but what I want to emphasize, this is a mix of a really simple technology that will help people solve their everyday needs on a very difficult technology that nobody understands. But we bridge Web 2 and Web 3. This is our mission. Business model is simple. We sell gigabytes, but it's not subscription. You pay only what you store. And the market is, our target market will be US because it's the biggest market. And well, our target audience is $0.3 billion, which we will concentrate on in the beginning. If you see on the competition file, none of the products, either it's centralized like Amazon or Google Drive or others, are really focusing on some product on top of it. Like we have an assistant inside that will help you structure data, family tree that you can interact with your family inside, inherit data, none of them has it. We raised $500,000 out of it, 350 is already soft committed by blockchain and Web2 funds. We are planning to break even on the second year after investment. On the third year, we're planning to be profitable. And because I have lack of time, I just want to concentrate on the team, why we actually do it and why we can do it. With me, so we are Irina and Andrew. We are 2 co-founders, 2 main co-founders and holders of coins and equity. It was actually an Andrew's idea. Was when his mom was sick with Parkinson's disease. He thought, well, he has no archives about her and he has no kids. So how he will show something about her to his kids? That's why this idea started, and he came to me to talk. We are friends, and we invested together, started developing this. We are, well, I'm a top 20 ladies in tech according to Silicon Valley Women in Tech Network in US, and Andrew is like very deep in crypto. Our designer is a crazy guy responsible for our face. He's doing mobile products from scratch for Porsche and Deloitte. And our blockchain architect is certified officially by EBRD. So that's our advisors helping us a lot on strategy and technical things. And we are planning to reach 15 million users by 2024. And about strategy, there are 4 main points that we understand that others don't understand. Sometimes crypto projects forget that customer is a king. A customer is number 1, and they care about their token. And what we do, we care about customer first, show our product first, and then only after that we go to exchanges. We implement features one by one, not like 1,000 features, only one first, and then next year, second year. About FOMO effect, I want to also emphasize, I don't know how good and deep you are in crypto, but 7% of our coins will be on sale only. Usually it's more than 20%. And we will create a FOMO effect when people hunt for coins. And this will cause its growth. And all our team is working for coins and equity, equity for 5 years and coins for 10 years. Thank you for your attention. If you have questions, I'm ready to answer.
Thank you, Irina. Thank you for the pitch. Please, if you have any questions, investors, feel free to answer to ask the question, Irina.
Yeah, if I have questions.
Irina, this is Oscar from the Untitled. We invested in a company called Hello Baby some time ago. Kind of a similar type of concept. They have a subscription-based model. You're going about it in a different way. And there, let's say there are some competitors in a way, indirect or direct. And you're going about it through, let's say, with the idea of blockchain into it. And perhaps that's actually a good way. I think it's more of a comment that probably you're going about it the right way, since you're not a newcomer to this. You're not one of the first companies in this market. So this is a good differentiator. The name itself, if this is if you can use it in multiple type of jurisdictions, then it's a super name, I think. So anyways, the point is, I think you're onto something. Yeah. Sorry, from my understanding, you have a equity and a token round. Yeah. So that's a kind of confusing for some people. So it makes it kind of, one of the difficulty is that you're looking for money and you're trying to kind of do two things at once, which I can understand, but just from a messaging perspective, you have to figure out how to segment this. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I got a question about this. Like if we have a DAO, then it means that all our token holders will vote. But what about equity? And exactly now, well, if I may just add some comment.
Yeah.
That we already talked to investors and to crypto funds. Blockchain Founders Fund is the fund that wants to lead the round. And what they say, we want to invest in equity. I mean, because it's risky to invest in token, and we want to be a smart money to support you. And they want us to register an entity in US and structure everything as a traditional company. But on the top of that, we have a token.
The token idea for you guys, now I'm no expert. It's kind of like, think of it like Jay-Z does a token. Well, Jay-Z does a token and he just banked $2 million in his pocket. And then after that, he doesn't care. He just walks away. And the point is, you need actual token that has longevity. So if you have a product where my kids are going to be going to the storage house to picking up some pictures or files or whatever it may be, the interaction of the token, let's say the gamification of it it's too long dated. And this is one of the challenges you have for your token. How do you show actual utility with frequency? So this is like, I'm probably not saying anything new to you, but these are challenges that somehow you have to address for you to close this. And this is, if you have a crypto people and they're asking for equity, is because they probably see this.
Well, that's because all other investors also prefer equity, and they say the first round will be equity anyhow, and then future rounds and tickets from 2 million, they will consider tokens when they are just going to enter exchange. Everybody, so there are two ways how to earn on token, either to invest in it before it goes to exchange or during the first dump. So what they want to do is to invest before we go to exchange. And if you ask me about utility, yes, it's true. It's a utility token, and we give it to users. As you see here on the graph, 50% of these tokens will go to users. Why we do it? Instead of spending like $500 million on marketing, we will better spend coins. They don't have value now, but people feel it's a value. When the customer registers in the app, they receive automatically 5 coins. For that, they can already purchase something, like use it more or less for free. Then we have a referral program. They can refer to friends, to their family, connect them into this network and get more and more coins, so they can earn on it. On the other side, there is a keeper who keeps the data. So it's important to mention that distributed systems of storage are different from Amazon and Google Drive, and more sustainable and more profitable, because people like me can give you for rent my hard disk, and I just get money for that, and it's cheaper. So that people, they also earn GBN coins, and this is also utility because they provide me service, I pay them. So that's how we sustain this usage of token all the time. If it's interesting, I can send you more materials about tokenomics, how it's going to work in the system, how we reward our customers. Here we have all the information, like what they get, how much they get, all of their activities. You ask about your children, how they will be incentivized by us to do something in the system by tokens.
Yeah, thank you. So I would suggest that you send Oscar all the needed information, if Oscar agrees with me, of course. Yeah. And thank you, Oscar. Thank you, Irina.
I have one last dumb question.
To me?
Yeah. What if I lose the hard drive?
The hard drive, your hard drive?
Yeah. What if I have your pictures on it or your data on it and I lose the hard drive?
No problem.
No problem.
You lose your copy, you lose your money. That's it. And this copy will automatically find another place. We keep 3 copies in the system. 1 copy is on our servers, 1 copy, and second one somewhere in this team can keep. But if you lose it, or if you are offline for more than 4 hours, you lose the copy, and somebody else will be earning on that.
Awesome. Thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So, any more questions? Okay.
There is one, sorry. Irina, could you elaborate a little bit more on the acquisition channels? So how have you attracted the customers right now?
Yeah, we have, I think I have time. Yes, I have everything here. How we do it, through traditional marketing. We are really doing low-cost things because we spend our own money. So when you spend your own money, you have to be really cost efficient. We spend like almost $4,000 on traditional marketing. The best channel is Facebook and Twitter. Facebook is the cheapest one. We attract customers by doing like a blogging information about new technologies, why distributed is good, what's metaverse, how we are related there, how we bridge in the gap. So people love reading about that. And we also add some emotional content because our target audience is emotional. So they love families, they love kids, they want to have space privately, not openly to all social media. And that's why when we post emotional content or some tech savvy content, they read it, and we have a lot of organics. Here you see, I will send it after the presentation, all information that you need. Oops, sorry. Yeah, and we know what didn't work. Like in Telegram, all the crypto projects try to advertise on Telegram, do something, but it's really like fake. I can confirm. We spent like $2,000 on different MIA session, answered questions, and then suddenly we got the growth of our community on Telegram. But then we found out that they're bots, or they're just people who are willing to get their airdrop. Some advertising when they come, do some actions, and then in the end they need to like get $2 or $3. So that's definitely not our customer, not our target audience. So we stopped Telegram, and we also have another channel through culture. We do some promotions that save heritage, promote heritage. We give so it's like a huge cultural project we do, and other people manage that. So I believe the best way is to target people from two sides, from traditional marketing side and from some projects that bring value to societies, to communities, and talk about culture, why it's important, why Gap's book family, why other like Trump families and others care about heritage. And this is a storytelling. This is another side of how we approach people.
All right.
Irina, funny you brought that up. I felt the same on Discord. Lots of bots in those communities.
Yeah, and Discord, yeah, we are active almost in all channels. But as I said, the best channel, non-crypto channel. This is very surprising for me, but that's also the biggest challenge for crypto projects, and especially Filecoin and others, like big players. Their problem is that they concentrated more on their token in the beginning, and now they have a challenge that people don't want to change their mind and don't want to change the habit and change their iCloud to Filecoin. That's why they're looking for some projects that are bridging. And
I love the approach, because the consumers are not going to care about the underlying technology or how you're gamifying it. And you need to go to your customers. So love it. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So again, we can discuss, we will share the information after the session. So in order to give a fair time for everyone. Thank you, Irina. Thank you, Sufyan. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dino. And Scott,
so much
and everyone who asked.
That's a lot of time. Thank you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But I'm looking forward, especially from investors, to receive your feedback after the session, and we're happy to make introductions with the entrepreneurs. So our next guest is Oleg from Russia. He's the founder and CEO of Clicker. Welcome, Oleg.
Hello. Thanks for making the time for the call. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you for joining us.
Are
you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let me just share the screen. Yeah, can you see? Great. So my name is Oleg. Nice to meet you, everyone. I'm the CEO of Clicker. We are an assembly and installation service for retailers and manufacturers. So basically what we do, we install and assemble goods at retailers' customers' homes. So why we do that? What is actually the problem that we are solving? Actually, most of our clients, big brands and manufacturers, their revenue from assembly and installation is less than 5% of their turnover of goods. That is why they usually don't focus on this very much, and it is difficult for them to make the customer experience good, because to do that it has to be your core business. And that's why the strange thing happens, that customer buy goods in the store but tend to choose cheaper or quicker options for installation or assembly. And retailers are basically losing the market. So what we do is we provide all-in-one solution. It is usually white labeled. So we provide installation and assembly to the customer. At the online store, it looks like this. For example, this is our live client. They sell boilers, water heaters. And on the product page, there is our widget. It says professional installation, and the customer can read the details and add it to cart. And when they do, we will fulfill all the services and pay commission to the retailer. So the USP for the retailer is better customer experience, more revenue for them because we pay commission, and optimized expenses because they don't need to manage different service companies for the installation. We do that by providing different products. First of all is integration via widget that I've showed via API or our just portal. We work in every city of retailer's presence. We offer one window service for contracts and payments. We offer our own customer support if that solves the problem if something goes wrong on the order. We have our own SaaS system that fully automates the process, and we have additional warranty for the job. So we are B2C, so we don't have direct customer acquisition cost, and we grow our main metric, that is the number of orders fulfilled, by two ways. First of all is increasing the number of B2B clients. Our average sales cycle is now 1.5 months. First is the pilot. Usually it's one city or one point of sale. Next is the scaling via goods categories and geography. And the next way to grow traffic is to increase attach rate for our B2B client. That means to sell more services for the same amount of goods they sell. For this, we have several techniques and product features, one of which is we almost exclusively control the online experience for the end customer, as I've showed you on the widget. And we also have features for the sales reps in store. We have an app for the sales rep that with micro-learning and the bonuses for them for upselling the services. So now we have 21 B2B clients. We are growing 3 to 5x per year. We fulfill 1,700 orders per month. Our clients include international big brands as Candy, Panasonic, Hansa, etc. We will have 776k euros as our annual revenue in 2021, and we hope to grow 5x in 2022. We have a fully remote, well-organized team of 13 people now, and we are growing fast. So now we're not raising capital. We are a leader in the industry in Russia, and we are thinking about moving to Europe, to Germany the next year. So we are looking for networking with retailers, manufacturers, brands, or retail accelerators. And thanks for your attention. I'll be happy to answer all the questions if you have them.
Thank you,
Hi,
Oleg.
So yeah, I do have a question. So can you show me a little bit more about your competition?
Well, yeah, actually, I didn't include this slide because that's different in Russia and in Europe, and actually in all the countries, it's different. In Europe, we don't see any competitors for now, especially in Germany. The biggest competitors are the substitutes, like the in-house in-house installation teams that retailer has, or just the contractors that they manage themselves. So we don't see any direct competitor as an IT platform that aggregates these contractors.
So
we do have one. We do have one in Russia that is called hands.ru. I'm not sure if you are familiar with that. We have it in our Russian pitch deck, but I haven't included it here, so because it is the local player here.
So do you so basically you said that you're B2B, so who is the end customer that will use the servers? So it's not me who wants to buy a water boiler and doesn't know how to install it.
Well, it's actually a little bit complicated. So we are B2B2C. So the first step is to sell to the retailer, and that's like B2B sales with B2B sales cycle. We have the sales cycle of 1.5 months. So that's the first part. And the second part is to compete for the end user when we are in the channel of the retailer. So the channel for us is free. So we share the revenue with the retailer, but we don't pay for the acquisition of the customer. And there we are competing with the B2C platforms for handyman, for example, but we have a competitive advantage that we are the retailer. So basically the person just bought something from the retailer, and usually it means that the trust is already built. So it's much more easier, much less traction for them to just to put installation in the cart than to go and search for it somewhere else.
So, but at the end, your service is that somebody will come to my house and install my new TV on the wall, or not?
Yeah, that's basically what we do. That's basically
so how do you scale that? Because you basically need people that go to somebody's houses and do it, right?
Yeah, we are working with service companies and individual service people. We now have about 90 service companies on the platform. So we have the SaaS platform for that is for the distribution of the orders, for collecting feedback from the customer, for collecting reports for the of the job, and so on.
Okay, cool. And can I have one more question for the revenues?
Yeah.
There was like 700. So you almost have 1 million in revenue. Okay, cool. Yeah.
In annual revenue, yeah. That's that's the Russian revenue. So we have it in rubles, but the amount in euro is almost 1 million. Yeah, and we will hit about 3 to 4 million next year, I hope.
Cool. I'm from Germany, and I know that there are companies here where you, for example, you buy something, and then they take the old piece as how to say, like a gift, and therefore they put you the new one in. But I don't quite remember what the name of these companies was.
Trade-in.
I can get back to you.
Which one?
It's trade-in service. So once you have something new in exchange of an old equipment or item, you're
okay.
I'm sorry. How much are you raising? And
well, we actually are not raising now. We will raise a late seed round for the European expansion in the beginning of 2022. But now we want to establish connections with the investors that are interested in. We'll be probably raising about 500K, something like that.
And just out of curiosity, 500K, like, what's the structure? Like, what kind of valuation are you guys thinking of?
We're not sure yet because when now we don't have European traction. We'll be raising when we do have first couple of customers. So I cannot speak about valuation right now.
Understood.
Yeah. But if you are interested, I can ask for your contacts on from Mark and send you the pitch deck when we will be ready.
Well, I know Dimitri quite well, so yeah. Thank you.
Dimitri Bergulson.
Yes, yes.
Oh, great. He's actually famous, and he helps us a lot in retail space because he has a lot of connections and a lot of experience in the field.
Great. Okay, so also I'll be happy to make introductions. So please, investors, do not hesitate to contact me after the session. Startups as well. Any more questions?
Yeah, could we please talk a little bit more about the business model and what's the unit economics right now? What's the margin you're taking as a platform?
Our average margin right now is 15%. We are experimenting with it now. At first, it was like a flat rate of 15%. Now we have seen that there is a very big difference between the services. For example, we now fulfill about 120 services, 120 types of services, and only 4 or 5 of them makes like 60% of our revenue. So we decided to make this margin different service by service. And different city by city. For example, if we have a smaller city, we subsidize, so we make our margin lower. And if we have a bigger city with bigger traffic, we can make our margin higher because we have more service companies, we have more supply there, and we can make the price lower for our supply. So for now, it's on average is 15%, but I hope we can make it 20 to 25 on average. And on the unit economics side, we basically don't have all our expenses are I forgot the English word, monthly expenses, because we actually have very little expenses per unit. That is text messages, bank transactions, telephone calls, because we record them, but that is less than 15% of our margin. So basically, we are the unit economics is profitable, and we earn about 85% of the revenue that we have before the monthly expenses.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you for the questions. Thank you, Oleg. So our next, thank you. So our next guest is from Poland. It's Karol. He is the CMO of Saventic Health. Welcome.
Hi guys, nice to meet you all. I will just show you my screen.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so hi, I'm Karol. I am here a representative of Saventic Health. We are a company that creates the algorithm that's help in diagnosis of rare disease. We started around 2 years ago with Szymon Piątkowski and Professor Basak, and now we grew to something like 20 FTEs, and we also cooperate with about 25 specialists in the field of rare diseases in Poland. So why rare diseases? The problem is that because they are rare, there's very few specialists that may diagnose the patient. At the same time, we as a doctor are focusing on the most common diseases. So this patient, there's very long delay in diagnosis of these illnesses, which cost us money as a society, and this patient, their health with misdiagnosis and mistreatment. At the same time, we create more and more data, which is available for the processing with the algorithms every day. So it is natural that we can try to create the system which finally will help doctors in diagnosis the uncommon diseases. Even though that rare diseases aren't frequent, there is a big market for them. It is assessed that this is 2 billion euros globally, and it is growing. It was growing something like 5% in recent years, and it is estimated that it will grow around 10% in the coming future. This market is still very young. It's only few companies around the world try to tackle this problem, and probably this will be changing fines with in the coming future with the maturation of this market. What we're creating algorithms that on 3 levels that are fitted for different level of the healthcare, and we create there are used the different numbers of features and lab tests. And with the first step, what we call the A level, we create algorithm based of mostly lab tests and few symptoms, and they provide information for the doctor about the abnormality, about what should be done about this abnormality, propose next steps, and likely scenarios for the future. In the second level, we use the AI algorithm to stratify patients into groups, the possible candidates for the rare disease with rare disease. In this case, there is lab tests with the information extracted for the descriptive data in the system, health system, that produce that says there is the risk of the blood cancer, and what are the symptoms found in the record, and what we suggest for the next steps. And on the third level, we use the extended number of parameters and symptoms, and return the information about the certain disease, that there is the risk, for example, multiple myeloma, and why we think that there is why there is suspicion of this disease. So we show that there is a bone pain in the symptoms, there is the osteolytic change in exact picture, and so on. And of course, we suggest what should be done with this patient. And this third level is of interest for the hospital and for the pharmaceutical company, while the previous 2 were mostly for the primary care and medical providers. In terms of business model, we work on subscription. Now we collaborate with 3 big, well-known pharmaceutical companies with whom we have contracts. We negotiate further contracts with 8 companies. At the same time, we are developing the subscription system with the medical providers, which are now under testing. Now we are planning to raise 10 million PLN, which translate into 2.4 million USD in this round, and we secure already 60% of this amount. In this year, we had a revenue of 260K USD, and in next year we plan to have 1 million, which of them half is already secure with the contracts. And with that, that's all, and I'm happy to answer all of your questions.
Thank you, Carol, for the pitch. Investors, please, if you have questions for Carol, feel free.
Yeah, thank you, Carl. You're seeking 2.5. What was the valuation?
Evaluation is like 40 millions of Polish zloty, is like 10 USD.
Around there, yeah. And so you have contracts with these pharmacies, did you say? Yeah.
Yes, we have like big pharmaceutical companies which are collaborating with us, and like this is the model is like this, that we have collaborated with the hospitals where we, based on our algorithms, we screen the population of the hospital, select the patient with the highest probability of certain diseases, and after that they are screened. Pharmaceutical company are interested in finding these patients. They don't get like the names of the patient and all the like the data about the patient, but there we are facilitating the process for them, finding of the patient. With after that, like for example in Poland, when they have the public health insurance, they go to this system and their drug may be used in this patient. These patients are rare, and like for example in certain diseases, this is like they're estimated that they're worth like, I don't know, 10 million zloty, so per capita, so something like 2.5 USD.
Mm-hmm. Do you see this business as a regional business?
Definitely not. This is the problem, like all over the world, because this is problem. This is very, very problem. Like, I am a physician, so I know that I have expertise in some area, but I am not able to diagnose diseases from the other popular area of medicine, and not to mention about the diseases which happens like 1 per 1 million or 1 per 40,000 or something like this. This is this would be perfect if we could learn just reading about diseases, how to diagnose and treat, but the real life is that we are good at something what we do every day. So this problem with the rare disease is like commonly known in the medical field all over the world, and everybody discussing about supporting system which might help this patient to find right diagnosis. In some diseases there is this delay in diagnosis which goes up to, I don't know, even 40 years. So,
and just two last points. Who are the other investors?
This is Paul. Like we have one investor in the pre-seed round from Poland. This is InnMind Ventures, and the other like which now is like which is committed in this round. This is For Grow, also from Poland. This is private investors which are willing to invest their money in our business.
Okay, so just the medical space, everything you're saying is, I assume for most VC investors, it's quite complex because they're not used to this type of space. We quite often use a person who works for US NASDAQ listed rare disease companies, biotechs, and expands them in Europe. And I would like to start a conversation with this person, and
it's fantastic for us. So we are more than happy to answer all the questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to be in this interactive session. And please, if you have other questions, feel free to ask Carol.
Carol, you have shown that you have made 260K in 2021. So how many paying users do you have, and who are that paying users? Are they farm companies or medical companies or both?
Now there are pharmaceutical companies, and we have three of them. We are in the negotiation with 8 of them, and now we have a budget for the next year, like $500,000 secured. And also with the medical providers, now we are in the testing of our solution for this level A, which will be delivered for the GPs, like the general practitioners. And we tested this solution. The feedback is very positive, and now we are about to because it's always the question about the integration with the systems, and we are in this process. And in the next year, we plan to, to have this other source of revenue.
I see. So usually, if you work with farm companies, the checks are much higher. So I assume that are the pilots, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think could be the potential in terms of your recurring revenues per farm client? I know that this is quite a diversified market, so you cannot say that that's average. But in terms of your target segment, what is the check you're expecting?
To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what is the limit. It's always the question about scale, but may I return to you with the value, because I am more on the medical side, but now I cannot answer your question, but I think I will send you the model with the exact number, which I am not able to recall.
Okay, have you estimated for yourself what is your market potential on both sides? I mean, on the side of medical companies and on the side of pharma.
Yeah, of course, we did this expertise and this evaluation, and in this slide I will show you the market in Poland. In Poland, this rare market now is estimated like 35 million and getting bigger and bigger. And we want to be able to get a share of this market, like something like 5 to 10% in the technologies, because I think that what is the future of this market, that when the pharmaceutical company develops the drug, they also want to have the technologies or some way to diagnose also the patient, which can be treated with the drug. So we estimate that it will be like around 5% at least of this market, and it might save 20 to 30% of this market for them.
Right. Are you fine with the answer, Dina?
Just looking at this, so you actually estimated the market based on clients, based on the number of cases, right?
Yes, exactly. Like the market, because this is the market of rare diseases. This is the problem, that you have more than 7,000 rare diseases, but in fact there is only the drugs for the couple of this disease, like 20. So you can estimate of the market. Of course, there's margin of error, because we're not sure about always about the epidemiology of this diseases and what is the underdiagnosis of each of them. But based of them, of the epidemiology of the diseases and the market, we can estimate what are the numbers.
Okay, got it. It's not that straightforward. We have the company called Semantic Hub. So when you have rare diseases, farm companies are definitely the one interested, and there are lots of money in the market. But not a lot of clinics are ready to invest in the segment, because it's quite a rare case, and they do the unit economics as well. So I would just consider that in the future. But overall, thank you for sharing the figures and sharing the information about the solution. Very helpful. Thanks a lot, Carol.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Dina. Thank you, everyone. So our next startup is called Robin Brick. It's represented by its CEO and co-founder, Hernan. He's based in Spain. Welcome, Hernan.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing fine, except that I just lost seeing you. 1 second. Okay.
But we can see it. We can see your screen very well.
You can see my screen. Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm having 2 screens, so sometimes I do magic. Well, we're Robin Brick, as you said, and we're revolutionizing what is the e-commerce. And why do we do that? Well, as you know, in Europe, over 20% of the revenues have moved from the physical stores into the online stores. If we go into China, it's already over 54% of those sales that are already on the online. Now, that alone should not be a problem. But the thing is that physical stores have a conversion rate of between 18 and 30%, 13% of in the worst cases of companies that run well. While for the big brands, they only have a conversion rate less than 1%. So that means you need a lot more customers, and that means you have a much higher customer acquisition cost. So there must be a better way to solve this problem. And to explain you that, I'm going to show you a real example that I experienced myself. I moved from Germany to Spain riding a bicycle, and I didn't know much about bicycles. So it took me 3 months to learn which one would be the right one for me. If I only had a red button like the one you can see there below, I could have talked to an expert, somebody who did a trip like that before, and could recommend me in a matter of minutes which bicycle would be right for me. So that would have been the expert. And by doing that, we increase conversion rates to 70%. That is huge, but we want to improve. So now what we are doing for brands to integrate it easier, we just launched a widget where they can have also many different services, just including a few lines of JavaScript code into their website, where they can make physical appointments, online appointments, have streaming, call directly to a certain store or a certain person, or chat with the company. And our next product that we will deliver, it's a one-to-many. All I explained to you is one-to-one conversations. We will also want to introduce the one-to-many, where you can, for example, introduce new products and call to an audience, and from there go into one-to-one conversations if you want. By doing that, we convert customers into fans and into ambassadors. And by doing that, we increase the customer lifetime value. We also found that for some of our customers, it was a little bit difficult to integrate our service, not from the code point of view, which was easy, but they needed some additional services that they didn't know how to handle. So we also added payments, which is already running. We add delivery by connecting via API with companies doing that. We capture a lot of data, and with this data, we provide also with advanced analytics. And now all these things that I've been explaining to you, why are they important? Well, for the retailers, it's a very low-cost solution that it's very fast implementation. Right now, less than a week, and soon it will be automatic in a matter of minutes, with a very high return on investment using the resources that they already have, the staff in the stores and the digital presence. And for us, it's a very high margin business with a very fast time to market that works across all sectors, can grow globally, and it's scalable into many other products to the data that we already have. So how do we differentiate? There are many different technical things like the one-to-one and the one-to-many, and that's how everybody's competing, but we are adding some new things. We are capturing data, for example, to like facial recognition, where I can know your gender, your age, and 7 emotions. We do advanced analytics. We're introducing now a call bot that will probably put a 3D layer on top of that, and we also want to provide traffic to those brands. We're already working with some big brands. Our first customer was Dockers, and our last one, it's in Poland, Coca-Cola, where we are opening a second office in Poland. But we just did last week, actually. And this is the team. It's super small. It's just me with experience in consultancy, in retail, my whole life, and Miguel, who's doing the whole development, and Joaquin doing the finance. because we're so small, we're relying also on alliances with a 3D company, a facial recognition company, technology, delivery, payments. And we have a good advisory board with people from the MIT in applied mathematics, 2 people from Inditex, 1 people who already did a unicorn before. The market, we estimated a sum of 500 million and scalable all the way to a TAM of over 6,000 million. This year, we're planning revenues of 120,000. We're already over 144,000, break even in 2023, and over 7 million in 2025. This year, we're selling in Europe, where we still need to expand a lot, but we're already selling in Belgium and in Poland. Next year, we want to expand in Latin America and in the US. For the US, we got this award through InnMind in Draper University, where we'll spend some extra weeks trying to get clients. In LATAM, organically, we're getting some of them there because we have the same language. And 2023 to Asia. And we need investment. We're calculating 100,000 euro. We already have business angels committed to 200,000, and we already have a Spanish soft credit of another 200 if we get a lead investor. And what we want mainly is developers, because we know what we have to improve, and we're way too slow in doing the A/B testing to bring new features because the team is way too small. And also we think that UX should be a very, very important part. So we also want to introduce some UX expert. So this is a new e-commerce that is connecting humans. It levels up the retail. The future is phygital plus digital. The future is phygital. And the future is Robin Brick. And hopefully you with us. Thank you very much.
Hopefully. Thank you, Arnold, for your presentation. Investors in Draper University team, do you have any questions for Arnold?
Yeah, I want to go over a little bit more about your business model, please. Can you go back?
The business model?
Yep.
There was not like one clear slide about the business model. Maybe this one?
That's fine. Why don't you just talk about how you make money?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a software as a service, so we charge per month and per store, and it works the following way. If you have 1 store, I charge you 150 euro per month. If you have 2 stores, I charge you still 150 euro per month and per store, so that will make 300 euro. From 3 to 20 stores, they cost 75 euro per month and per store each. And then after that, they cost 37.50, and after that, then 17 euro. But nobody is using more than 20 stores at the moment. So the average price, it's around 100 euro per month and per store.
And can you tell me a little bit more about your traction?
Yes. I was that one. So our first customer was Dockers. We started only with 2 stores in Barcelona, and then we expand to 7 stores. That's all the stores that they have in Spain. From there, we want to expand into the internationally within Dockers. They already gave us an advance payment for next year, so they are really planning to develop on that. The next customer was Levi, where we're also working in all the stores in Spain. That's, I think, 21 stores. Then it was Intersport, where we did 15 stores, and this is financed by Reebok. That's why we have both logos. Then we had Scorpion. It's a very small one. They don't even have stores. They are supplier for a major department store in Spain. And that's not the kind of client we want to have. It's too small, has too little online presence. So our project was not really successful there and cost us too much money. Then Cosentino and Toes, it's for next year. We're already on negotiations. Toes will start in April. Merlin Properties, it's a very large company in the stock market in Spain. They have 15 shopping centers, and we're already working in one of them. That gives us access to about 100 stores inside every department store, and we're doing there a free pilot. With Inca, we already have developed it, and we are now closing the deal, and Coca-Cola, it's already approved, and that will be like one-to-many project in Poland. And it's about, right now, it's about 50 stores somewhere there.
And we also wanted to ask you a little bit, like, what will be your strategy to get to the other markets?
Yes, right now the way we're doing is like, we're like snipers, like heading to the decision makers in very large retailer companies. We will continue that because we need the branding from them. But what we want to do, and the first step was creating the widget. The second one is to create like apps that you can buy when you are buying Shopify or Magento or WooCommerce. And then in a very easy way, just like I'm buying Shopify, I see this additional app and I install it in my website. So with the small and medium size retailers, that's how we want to enter. And then with the very large ones, I mean, if Nike calls me tomorrow, I will spend 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks with them talking and developing, especially for them. That would be no problem because I love to have that reference that gives me the credibility to gain all the other retailers later on.
Okay, thank you.
Hernan, one last question. Who are some of your competitors in the space, and what do you feel like would be the biggest risk to your business going forward?
Biggest competitors, one of them is Bamboozer. They are very specialized in the one-to-many, not very strong in the one-to-one. Then there is a UK company called Use Hero. They are not very big. I don't think they have more than 300 customers. But for example, they are threatening because they were just acquired, despite the revenues are not so high and the amount of customers are not so high, they were just acquired by Klarna for 115 million pounds. Technologically, I don't think they are much ahead of what we are, despite a major team, but 150 million pounds budget can do a lot, right? And all the customers that Klarna has. On the other hand, when I hear those news, for 1 hour, I went to my room and cried for a little bit. And after I contacted Stripe, I was like, okay, if they go for Klarna, I'm going to call to Stripe. And we already arranged a meeting. And it could be that they help us like trying a pilot with our product with some of their customers. So that is certainly a threatening part. The other part that was threatening was like all the social media, like Twitter announced they're going to do like sales on video and YouTube, but we're actually planning to leverage like that's a part where we want to compete. A lot of this business and all this communication, it's going through social media platforms. So brands, they don't own it. They have to go into that channel to have that. So actually, I don't see ourselves as competing or scary, because what I'm offering them is, if you're Nike, why should you not have it on your own website, all these things going on? And then you can always share it. And you can share it in all the platforms, not just in one. And even your users can share it in all of them. So I see them more as a leverage as of now, that as a threat. Half a year ago, I would see them as a threat. Now I think I have the formula and the value proposal that it's actually not a threat, but it can be a leverage.
Okay. Well, I think I know the ex-general counsel of Stripe, so I'm happy to make the connection. He just retired after 8 years at Stripe. He might or might not be of value, but this looks exciting. Thank you for your pitch. Okay. Over to the others for any other questions.
I love that contact. We already had one meeting with them. I contacted them directly on LinkedIn to vice president, female, I don't remember her name, in the US. And she gave me contact with one in Europe, but it would be good to have like one, like to insist on it. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess we'll continue the discussions after the session. Thank you, Sophia, and thank you, Daniela, for the questions. Any more questions from investors?
No, well, this is Oscar. I've met Hernan, and actually the company for our mandate does not qualify, but we're actually just full disclosure looking at it from an angel, from GP level angel investment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we have yet to come back to our.
Thank you, Oscar. Nice to hear from you.
Hernan, you were saying something. I couldn't hear you well.
Hernan, would love to talk about the asset as well. So you already mentioned that you're going to propose more value for the clients. So within the concept called jobs to be done, what is the asset you're building? What is the long-term vision? What if, let's say, we think about Robin Berg in the future in a 5 or 6 year horizon, what is this company about? What's the main value they're putting in the market?
Yeah, and basically there is one big thing that the retail in general, physical and digital, has become absolutely transactional. When it's transactional, it's very damaging for the e-commerce, creates no loyalty. And for the physical stores, they used to be strong there, but the business are moving to the online because it has become transactional, so it doesn't have much more value. So we are into making this retail being like an emotional part again, and having your trust person, your trust shop, all those things, and that is our main thing, putting the persons, the real humans in the stores in the center, and making this human connection again. So all the things that apply to that apply to us, you know. And what I really think it's we you know, as a vision, what I want to become is a TX company. A TX company is a total experience company where we mixture like UX with EX, will be employee experience and with the UX. So for example, anything that has to do with communication, like the communication that right now is horrible. For example, the people deciding the visual merchandising with the people working in the stores. That is also a communication channel. We don't have to only communicate within the store to the customers, which is the best entrance way because it provides money right away and benefits right away. But improving, for example, the visual merchandising reduces cost, makes the company more agile. It allows you to make A/B testing in the store to change things very dynamically. So making all these sort of communications that are important in the company, whether they are for revenues, for cost, for agility, that's my vision.
Right. Is it okay with you, Dina?
Well, I would also love to hear how you're going to take more processes and bring more value for the enterprises so they could not live without you. But we could have this conversation after the session.
Yeah, I think if I show you some of the things we've been doing and how we got started with the advanced analytics and basically like creating the intelligent store. And once you're creating this intelligent store, it runs almost automatically. And it allows you like basically to run a physical store like a digital store. I think with that, I think there are some things that you would like to see there.
Okay, great. Looking forward.
Great to hear that. All right. Any more questions? Okay, so now I'd like to welcome Gabrielle and Lucas from Lithuania. They have a startup called Proteus Finance. Gabrielle is in charge of business development and Lucas is in charge of product development. Welcome, Lucas, welcome, Gabrielle. I think Lucas is gonna pitch, right?
Yeah, sure. Hi, guys. Hi, Daniela. How other investors? How is it going, guys? We actually just joined InnMind like a couple of days ago, and we already like what we see right here. Yeah, guys. So I'll be pitching now in a couple of minutes. And just before that, Gabrielle, say hi to everybody so they can also see you. Gabrielle is my co-founder.
Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Nice to see all of you.
Yep, so now let's go straight into the business. We are Proteus Finance. Let me share my screen right now and let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Awesome, that's great. Let's start. So Proteus Finance, we have one vision and one goal in our minds. We want to make complex investments accessible to everybody, right? Now, we identified 3 problems in the financial market. First of all, people lack financial education. When I say people, I really mean Europe, US, Asia, humanity as a source, right? Less than 55% of Americans and only 38% of Europeans invest in financial markets, stocks, bonds, cryptocurrencies. There are almost no medium high risk investments available on the market. So, right, we have different kind of applications where we can invest in stocks, or we can go straight into the cryptocurrencies in Bitcoin, and a person without prior knowledge really has difficulty, in earning any money with the cryptocurrency. And very few people are aware that they can actually generate more than 50% yearly return with a medium risk. Now, let's go to our solution. Super simple. We'll be offering a mobile application where people can deposit money with their credit card. We have a smart AI, which will invest people's money into the most profitable blockchain protocols. And people can generate the returns and spend them via our debit card. Yes, so this is the Proteus app. We're offering investments into complex financial instruments. Information is on the blockchain. First, of course, we're starting with a centralized model, and then we are going to switch to DeFi, decentralized model. We will be offering insurance so people can avoid impermanent loss when their currencies actually depreciate in value. High yield returns, medium high risk investment, which is very important. Cashback, the debit card will have different cashback opportunities. People will be earning money while they'll be spending them. And we're going to have a tier system. Basically, the bigger your investment is, the greater the benefits you will have. Now, Proteus in detail, just a couple of facts about us so you can know us a little bit better. And now we analyze blockchain protocols and find the most profitable ones. We have the algorithm in place. Me and Gabrielle, we both invest in cryptocurrencies and in blockchain in general already for more than a year. We started in DeFi summer last year. And basically we're doing everything manually. And we said, okay, why not creating a software where basically everything, we transfer all our knowledge to an app. And that's basically what we're doing here. Now, we manage impermanent loss, right? One of the biggest issues in DeFi. We allow people to cash out any time, any minute they want, right? They can put it on a debit card. They can just send the money back to their account. We don't support banks because the banks are intransparent institution, and we will be 100% transparent. We manage this by distributing your investment to different protocols. People will be earning passive income from the first dollar they invest. Insurance fund I already talked about, and we bridged centralized finance with the decentralized finance. Now, Proteus concept, I'm not going to go into the technical details right here, but basically that's the graph, that's the business case. People deposit money using a credit card or using a stable coin, the ones who are a bit more familiar with cryptocurrencies. We swap them into Terra UST in the Terra ecosystem in our app. Then we swap it later on into native tokens of different protocols, and then we invest in those protocols. For example, a Nexus protocol is one of our partners. Exactly. We're going to offer an on-ramp credit card solution. I already said that. That's it about this slide. Now, the insurance is going to work in the following way. We're going to protect people's money from permanent loss by repaying the investor from the insurance pool. And again, if a person wants to get an insurance for his money, he can buy it in the application, right? The second kind of insurance, if we see that we're going to constantly analyze the market, what we're doing right now, right? And if we see that the protocol decreases faster than the yield is being generated, your investment will be transferred to another more profitable protocol, like, and you can see here, Prism and Nexus protocol. They're both our partners right now. Business model, how we're going to earn money? Super simple, 0.5% from each transaction, 0.2% for currency conversion. That's our projected revenue. Very important. As you can see, here is a short-term projected revenue, right? We're going to start generating revenue in March, and it's for the next half a year, right? So in September, we want to have a net revenue of 0.8 million, which is easily achievable with the current setup that we have. And by the way, that's a pessimistic scenario, not an optimistic scenario. A couple of our competitors. The good thing about our app and about our product is that we don't have an actual competitor, right? We have a competitor which goes straight into the cryptocurrencies, such as Swissborg, right? They allow you to put the money in cryptos and don't provide this knowledge that you actually have to have in order to invest in this kind of market. Or you go to Trading 212, which basically allows you to invest in different stocks, right? As stocks can generate annual return of S&P 500 is about 12 to 13%. Which in my eyes is a bit boring if you actually are not risk averse, right? And we will be bridging centralized finance with the decentralized finance, which is super important because I think that slowly the whole society is switching to the decentralized kind of governance. All right, that's the team. I'm actually super proud about the team. And me and Gabrielle, we're the co-founders of the business. We both invest in different financial instruments, and we are creating the product. Piotr is our tech lead. All of us, we worked in huge companies, Fortune 500. We have also Tesla employees and so on. It's really not important which companies we work, but it's important what the team actually delivers and what they can provide. And all of those people, they actually deliver a very high quality product. We are crazy passionate, and that's how we work. So we have, for example, John, who's working slowly on the tokenomics. We have Silvano, who's actually helping us with all financial regulations. He was the financial regulator of UK banks for about 20 years. Maria is doing the branding, and exactly. That's our roadmap, which is also super important in my opinion. We're going to launch the app in April, right? With the automatic strategy, which will offer more than 50% of API right? May, we're launching the rebalancing and the insurances that I just presented before. Now we slowly start to move to the decentralized part in summer, right? So in July, we want to place users' information in the blockchain. And we're already working with Contis, which is the biggest debit card provider in Europe, which comes from Lithuania, actually, and he's offering debit cards already for Binance and other crypto companies. So we are working with them to launch debit cards for the users. Now, already achieved is 60% of the mobile app. What I didn't mention is actually all the knowledge that we have collected in the last 1.5 years since the DeFi summer. We have 8 partnerships. We didn't update the slides from Saturday and Sunday because we got 2 new partners this weekend, and we're talking with another partner at 8 o'clock. And we have 572 whitelisted users, and we didn't even start marketing. And actually, I expect at least 10,000 users by the end of January. That's it, guys. Partner with us. I'm open for, and Gabrielle is open for any questions you may have right now.
Thank you, Lucas. So any questions from the judges? By judges, I mean investors and the Draper University team.
Hi, Lucas. I'm sorry. Can you go through your capital needs?
Sure. So basically, we would like to raise $3 million US dollars in the near short term.
Okay.
Lucas, can you go to the slide? Maybe.
We actually don't have the slide here. We just have the projected revenue, right? So we didn't put. Okay. We don't have the slide. I'm sorry for that.
All right.
Okay. And what does that $3 million get?
These 3 millions actually will launch our web application, will achieve everything what we have on roadmap, and we basically guarantee that we have enough money to survive until we are very profitable, right? So we have actually a full plan, and Gabriella, could you maybe, because we both worked on this plan, so maybe we could send it to you if you would like. I didn't include it in the slides because it's quite big, right?
Yeah, I think we can distribute it a bit later if that's of interest. That's not a big problem, I think.
Sure.
Yep.
Just FYI, you're looking for 3 million. We have these plans, but they're big, and we'll send them to you later. Just friendly advice. That doesn't cut it. Make sure you have it prepared, and we'll have enough money until we're profitable. It's also doesn't cut it. Yeah, it's kind of like, it will happen when it happens. You know what I'm saying, man? It will happen when it happens. I'm being facetious here, but just for your information, you need to have that stuff ready. But I think you're onto something.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Like the insurance policy you talked about, it sounds a little bit like a Ponzi scheme. Like people are paying insurance, and the one that lose their money will get paid by the other insurance payers. Can you maybe go into detail there?
Yeah, so basically, Ponzi scheme, wow, that's crazy. No, so basically everybody has a subscription for the insurance, right? And depending on how much money they actually put in the pool, they are going to have the insurance provided to them, right? That's the very first thing. And the second thing is actually, we are going to analyze the market and we see if the tokens really will start depreciating in value, right? We're going to position them in other protocol, which is even more important than the first one.
And then one more thing, the valuation would be how much at the moment?
So 17% for 3 million, basically.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Correct.
Any more questions? All right. So our last startup, our next guest is Max from Russia. Max is the founder and CEO of OncoBudget and Gaika Group. Welcome, Max.
Is it cooking?
Yes, we can see it well.
Okay, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. My name is Max Kanevsky. I'm from St. Petersburg, Russia, and I'm the founder and CEO of OncoBudget. OncoBudget is a platform that increases survival of cancer patients dramatically from 3 to 10%. Actually, we all know what the problem is. The problem is that cancer is very dangerous and mortality rate is too high. But for us, mortality rate is the key, and the key for a solution and the key for a success. So OncoBudget calculates the best pharmacological therapy plan based on the constants of the hospital. No matter what your role is, if you are responsible for financing, if you're a chief physician or a finance manager for insurance company, you are looking for the outcome. So you, I would say, invest too much in the health, but the outcome might be not very good, and the mortality rate is very high. So what we did a solution based on 4 basic constraints of any hospital. The first constraint is the number of patients. The second constraint is their profile. In our case, it's the oncological profile. The third thing is medication, because available medications, they differ from country to country. And the budget, what you have in total. So what we did and how it works. For example, if you're a chief physician, so you look through your statistical records, for example, the cancer register. Then you create a group of patients according to their oncological profile, so patients for the therapy plan. And then you just input the data of available medications, the name, their price, and all of that parameters. Actually, not so many parameters. And then you go to the platform, you select the disease from the list. For example, you have 7 diseases or 12, no matter how many. And you enter number of patients according to the therapy group, and you choose appropriate medications, any number of medications that you have that are available. So, and then you have 2 options. You can calculate the best plan according to the budget, or can you find the budget according to the mortality rate you want to have. Or you can find first and then adjust the second. So when you input this data and press, okay, let's start, calculate. So you got 5 plans, 5 therapy plans that fit your budget and fit the oncological profile and the diseases you mentioned, the nosologies you mentioned. Actually, one of these plans is the best optimized, that is optimized best of all. And we we show how much money you save and how many patients will survive additionally if you do it in this way. For example, well, at least in Russia, standard oncology hospital is about 5,000 people per year. And doing these calculations, we found additional financing we save about $750,000. Again, 5,000 people for a hospital and $750,000 per year. That's the way it works. As for the competitors, actually, when we started this thing, we started it about 1.5 years. We thought that the main competitors will be the prejudices, because these are doctors, and doctors are very conservative, really. But when we showed them the way it works, we found a very good attraction to this. So people are very open to this. Because the idea of our product is contrary to the idea of other products. Most medical products, they based on medical ideas, and we based in our product on the economics. Actually, we took several ideas of Nobel Prize winner of economics and invented our own algorithm to this, put our math, our programming, and that's how we do this. So, in fact, their competitors are measures with their computational, with their performance. But really, it's not a real problem, a real competitors, because, well, for example, IBM says you can do whatever you want, but if you're a doctor, you can do whatever what you need. You can't fix the problem we are fixing. And the problem is, I'll show you in a short example. For example, for melanoma, which is a skin cancer, at least you have 12 groups and 11 medications. The number of combinations is too high. So it's more than 743 billion combinations. That's not a misprint, that's not a mistake. That's 12 in the power of 11. So if you have a lot of diseases and a lot of medications and a lot of oncology profiles, so wow. And our system does it in seconds, really. I can show it with the demo. And we think it might be patented. Now we are doing an exploration of an IP because the method of the way we calculate might be patented. So now we have an MVP that calculates for nosologies, non-small cell lung cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, and skin cancer, melanoma. We took them because they are most aggressive and the most mortal, actually, the highest mortality rate. The next one, our plans for the next year is to add stomach cancer, prostate, rectum, and others. And actually, this is one of the strategies. One of the strategies is to add new type of cancers to the list of disease. But presenting this product, we found we got the request from guys that work with diabetes, who work with tuberculosis, with cardiovascular diseases. They told us, well, guys, your product might work in our field because problems almost are the same: high mortality rate, and so budget, the outcome. So we might migrate from onco budget to therapy budget. We are thinking about it now. And finally, it could become a kind of an e-commerce hub where hospitals place their bids, their request for their medications, and pharmaceutical companies presenting their proposals. It might be in this way. So as for the demand, I prefer not to use the word market as demand. So it's really huge. At least 20 million people died according to the World Health Organization in 2020. And the revenue model for this demand is very simple. We take a flat fee, fixed price per year, and we show hospital the way it's safe. As I've already mentioned, on average, it saves from 100 to 250K for 1,000 patients per year. Just a few words about us. We are from IT business. We are from IT company. I'm founder and CEO of Geico Group company that developed that product. It's product of our company. We have clients from UK, United States, European Union. We won several international contests. So we know what we are doing. We've been working on this project, as I've told, a year and a half for developers, and of course with oncology experts, with oncology expertise, nothing could be done. So now we have an MVP. Our projections are to validate once again the model in one of oncology hospitals in St. Petersburg, and we have negotiations with one of the Russian regions to have a pilot that is for several oncology hospitals together. So the total number of patients expected in 2022 exceeds 100,000 patients. And that's what for we are looking. We are looking for 500K to make this big pilot for this region, actually. So we'll do several things, like a platform, some calculations, some adjustment, because the protocols, there are several protocols that all of them are confirmed, and so you might do some adjustment to this. Some therapy protocols. So that's what we are looking for. We are ready to work with the companies and with investors from all over the world. Actually, this November there was a MedTech World Forum in Malta, where I presented the system, and we got requests in from Malta officials that they told that they are interested in this. Some officials from other European countries, and got requests from Austria and from Italy too. So this is a project we have, and thank you for having me here. I'm ready to answer your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Thank you for your presentation. So judges, do you have questions for Max? All right, seems no questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So usually the last part of the pitching session is if investors or Draper University team, do you have any advice for the entrepreneurs in order to make their pitch decks better or their pitching better, please, we would love to hear your comments.
Hi guys. So yeah, we're very excited and congratulations for all your pitches. So for us, for example, for Draper University, we do more of an elevator pitch. We try to make everything super highlighted, key important things that will attract investors or like other people, because sometimes you just have like small time to do the pitches. Since this is a pitching competition, you like have 5 minutes. But normally guys try to use like the core information that you have. And afterwards, once the person shows interest in your business, then you can like put everything into table. So important things that you need to take into consideration for your pitches will be what's your problem and why are you trying to solve it? You also need a little bit about your traction, show numbers, they're really important. A little bit about your competition. Don't having a competition, you should always have someone trying to do something. If it's not direct, it could be indirect. So probably you should search a little bit of who are your competitors and why you're special. And then just open questions for the rest. But great job. With Sufyan, we will definitely give comments and we will decide who will be the person in charge of winning the prize to be on Draper University.
Great. So I'll be coordinating with you on that. And I would love to hear from you. I'm excited to know who is the winner. And
so we will discuss it with Sufyan and we will send you an email with finalists. So you can definitely let them know by this week.
Great. So, okay, startups.
Yes.
So any other comments?
Yeah.
Please.
Just this is Oscar from the Untitled Ventures. As Daniela pointed out, actually, whether you're doing an elevator pitch or not, I think like if you're giving a longer version of your pitch and you have to repeat things, you have a problem. You as Daniela pointed out, either you bring up the problem or the solution, at the beginning, I think is important. If you have a strong team, you can do that too. And I just said it again, but I'll say it again. The point is, if you want to make identify your strength, think of 2 or 3 things to be punchy about, as Daniela said, and that's it, and stop at that point, because then it makes you perhaps, I don't want to use the word desperate, but that you don't even understand the issue yourself. So what you want to convey is that 1, you understand your business, 2, you understand your market, and you just pick the 2 or 3 strongest things. However, there is a caveat to this. It depends on what stage you are. So the stage that you are with your business determines of what good things you have to say about them. So it's up to you to know what to deliver. And the last thing is, even if Draper University or Oscar from the Untitled or someone else from whichever VC tells you no, it actually does not mean that they are correct. And it's up to you it's not to prove them wrong, but just to follow your passion and your goal. So even if we were to say no, don't worry about it, move on, because it is a numbers game.
Thank you for pointing that out. Any other comments?
You have to get your numbers straight. Like if you have a 10 million plus valuation, then you have to know why, and I think many of you didn't include the part of how much you're raising and to which stake the investment is going to be.
Okay, so yeah, I agree with you, Thor. All right.
Can I just ask one short question?
Sure.
About just the art of pitching, would you recommend something to every person who pitched, like what to improve? Because you always have to improve something if there's just something.
It's
do you mean?
mostly just
Sorry.
practicing your story. Sorry, who did I interrupt?
Dina, that's all right.
Oh, Dina, go ahead.
So, Irina, are you asking whether it makes a point to ask the feedback after each pitch you've done for the investors?
No. I mean, just now, because we just have a couple of minutes, every person pitched. And I personally have feedback for every person who pitched, because I like made hundreds or more. But maybe you feel something that the art, maybe the voice, maybe, I don't know, except just a deck that should be clear and straightforward. There must be something maybe in person that would convince, I mean, the voice, if it's just too low, maybe it's not attracting and people are feeling sleepy, maybe something like that.
All the investors, first of all, are human beings, so you have to attract them. So if you cannot catch their attention with the figures, with the problem, with the vision you're selling, there is definitely a problem. So if we're looking at each particular pitch, there were different kind of problems. In one, we could find too many texts, too much information, but we have a lack of what is important for us. So you should understand. So sometimes investors do not, all investors do not have expertise in the field. The founder, usually the one who has the most expertise in this field. So we want to prove that it makes sense to invest in you, in your team, in the product you're making. But as Kawasaki mentioned in the book, it's the old book. It's like, I don't care about all other dogs, but if you touch upon the problem with my dog, then I'm engaged. If you can engage your investors from the very beginning and say, yeah, it's not only about your dog. Look, there are so many dogs around you and the market is huge. There is a huge opportunity. We're doing something unique. You see that customers have paid for that kind of features. And if there are no competitors, that's all right to say that they actually spend money to do this and this, but they try to find an alternative solution. Then you're saying, yeah, but we want to build something huger, like something bigger. That's the big vision. And I'm as an investor either involved and I believe in that. It's like, oh yeah, probably I would love to hear the story, how you're gonna reach this point. So then you break these small points and say, okay, as of now, I want to have this sum in order to reach this next point in my track record. And then, okay, I believe in this. Who's behind? What's the team is made up of? So then you could say that this is the team who can actually disrupt the market. If you can break the whole story for us and make it engaging, that means that you're doing the right thing. And if you see that we don't understand, when the engagement is low, and then you have a question in particular, the point in your presentation, that's the point where you correct it. But overall, we cannot go like within each presentation. There are lots of things you could improve. But the main point is to make investors believe in your storytelling and believe in your team. Well, I hope it helps.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dina.
Dina, thank you so much. Yeah, just to add on to, if I have a minute, to what Dina, Oscar, Thor, and Daniela said, treat the investors as if they're 7-year-old kids. That's my advice to literally anyone. And that's something I've learned from one of my mentors over the years. And explain your problem or your business to them as if you're explaining it to a 7-year-old. And also look at them sometimes as if they were your customers. And how would you sell it to your customer? You have like a minute to hook them up with whatever you're selling, right? So bring that energy and bring that enthusiasm, but back it up with numbers, back it up with your knowledge, back it up with, and also I think pretty much everyone said what what they've said. And for specific feedback, Irina, that's normally a more one-on-one sit down, and that goes deeper. I don't even remember like where you guys went wrong, I'll be honest. There were, and investors look at a lot of pitch decks, right? So looking at pitches collectively, I tend to ignore what was specifically wrong because I'm used to picking up things that I'm looking for, or I just ask that question. But like if you were to sit down in a one-on-one, that is when we can dive deep into, okay, these are the things you need to improve on. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Just on what Sufyan mentioned, on just to expand it a bit, I think at the end of the day is differentiation, because a lot of the projects, one way or another, we've came across them, and it's kind of the same idea being said over and over again. So, okay, how are you going to make it versus these 2 other 100 companies? And this is the issue from as Edina, I think, mentioned that you have to touch the investor somehow, one way or another. The problem is if 200 of the same 200 other companies said the exact same thing, well, you're not really touching anything, actually. So it's your job to figure out how to differentiate yourself one way or another.
And Oscar, thank you for adding that. That also reminds me that for early stage, what I've seen partners normally look at is why you're the right person, why is it the right time? Like if you can answer that somehow in your pitch, and that's again storytelling. Why is it the right time? Why me? That's one of the questions you need to answer. Not everything, but yeah. Thank you everyone for taking out the time.
One more thing, you should, and this became apparent to me in the last several months when I meet a lot of companies. A lot of ideas, you should differentiate yourself, because this whole technology wave is nothing new. Now we're getting to the point where like before, let's say if you're an immigrant coming to America, you would open up a fruit store or a laundromat. Now it's actually quite easy just to open up some kind of online store or platform or whatever it may be. So some businesses will be online businesses, what we call them right now, technology businesses, are actually effectively like what a grocery store or a corner store was in the past, because everything is kind of like a white box solution. So one of the issues you're coming across is that you're not actually tech enough. Your solution has been seen, going back to that idea, has been seen so much, and actually, in a way, not that I could ever do it myself because I don't have the same skill set, but if I was looking to open a corner store, well, now let me open up an online store of something or some platform, which is not now tech in itself anymore. So therefore, what relevance does your business have? I'm not identifying anybody, but I think it's quite clear to me these days that I come across so many businesses that are not really investable by VC anymore.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for all the constructive comments. And anyone would like to add anything? Okay, so thank you again. I really enjoyed listening to the comments. I believe everyone did as well. And to the nice projects also, and to the interesting questions from you judges. And so the most important thing is not to get upset. So, and I hope that this will be a fruitful session. You will hear some good feedback at the end. Judges, I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I will do the follow-up, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And yeah, so anyone would like to add anything? So thank you all, and see you next year.
Thank you very much for organizing.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
You have a great holiday.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Holidays.
Bye.
Bye.
Almost everybody left. One
Okay,
investor.
bye, Max. Bye.